ሚዲያ ከቨሬጅ ደግሞ ሲኤንኤን ማውጣቶስ ነበረ ቮጊታሊ ማውጣቶታል ኦል አፍሪካ ላይም ወጥቷልና ቮጊታሊ ፈርስት ፔጅ የኔ ልብስ ተጠቅሞ የተወሰነም ስለኔ ያወጣለ ይሄኛው የሲኤንኤን ነው ይሄ ደግሞ የውጭ ጉዳይ ሚኒስተር ዶክተር ቴዎድሮስ አድሃኖም ላይ ወጣ በኋላ እሳቸው ስለኔ ጻፉት ጽሁፍ ነው እሳቸው አዋርድ ደግሞ ደቡብ አፍሪካ ላይ የተካሄደ አዋርድ ነበረ ከ2 አመት በፊት ነው ገና እንደጀመርኩ አካባቢ ነበር የተወዳደርኩት ከ14 አመት እስከ 22 አመት የሆኑ ወጣቶች ነው የሚወዳደሩት እዚህ ውድድር ላይ የኔ እንደ አጋጣሚ ብዙ እየጀመርኩ ነበር ካምፓኒ ፕሮፋይል ነበር የሄደው ከኢትዮጵያ ቶፕ 25 ውስጥ የኔ ካምፓኒ ገብቶ ነበር ከአፍሪካ ነው ከኢትዮጵያ ግን እኔ ነኝ የገባሁት የኔ ሊስት ነው በኢትዮጵያ የተጠራውና እሱም እንደዛ ነው አሁን ቦል አሸንፍ ነበር አሁን ደግሞ የኤንዲፒ የወጣት የስራ ፈጣሪ ሴቶች ውድድር ላይ እሱ ላይ ደግሞ በአሁኑ ሁለተኛ ወጥቻለሁ አመሰግናለሁ ይሄን እድል ስለሰጣችሁኝ ኮዴድ አሁን በደንብ ጥሩ ምሰራበት ሰዓት ላይ ስላገኘኋችሁ በጣም ጥሩ እየሰራው ነው አሁን ቦታ አግኝቼ ሰራተኞቼን ማስፈቻለሁ እኔ ማስበው ምንድነው ኢትዮጵያ በሜዲን ኢትዮጵያ ተብሎ አቡጊዳ ፋሽን ዓለም ላይ በቃ ዓለምን የሚያንቀጠቅጥ ብራንድ ነው
Yes, I think it's most of you have already understood. Otherwise, we didn't have big laughing. But he what really inspires me. It's a very young woman, but I think there is no way we can help this lady because she already met. The most important people in Ethiopia. She has made it, but she does have some problems, and that's really again with the business development part. How do I make sure that people actually know my products? Like what she says, I would like everybody to know made in Ethiopia Abogida products. But how can we make sure that that happens? That's where we come in. And she does also have issues of financing, obviously. But in order for her to be able to become that, we need to make her capable. That's why we actually took the first step to bring her to Nisr Bank to see the opportunity for her, because she has been given a land, 120 square meter land from the government. So we are now seeing the possibility for her to invest. But before that to happen, unfortunately I could not show you, but we already built a website for her so that people can order internationally. But the system failed, so we could not show you what we have done. So we, in the sense, sometimes some people think like marketing, it's not, we don't give only advice because the instrument is what matters. So if a marketing tool, as in being a website, is the one what we should do, we do that. And we hope an organization like Inat Bank will be also interested to invest in a girl like, entrepreneur like you was. And to show you, all of us are actually trying to show what she can. We couldn't give a fashion show because it was too small. So we say it's good if everybody actually wears what she makes. So most of us is actually wearing what she has made. So I hope I am looking good as to get. Yes. So thank you very much. And I think now I would like to invite Mrs. or Miss Eline to come to the floor to tell us what the Dutch government has been doing until now to improve the private sector development in Ethiopia. Thank you very much.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening to my distinguished colleague from the ministry. A special good evening to the Coordate team who are here for the launching of the Nest network. Rahel, Matthijs and all the other devoted colleagues here. And a good evening to all the other honorable guests here tonight. When sitting up front you don't really see that there's so many people. Yeah. You were right, it is full, it's fact. So that's great to see. I want to start off today with managing your expectations a bit for what you have in mind for me tonight. When preparing for tonight's event, I thought it would be good to take a good look at the invitation. And if you've done the same, I think you're expecting way too much of me here. Because if so, you would be thinking I'm coming with something fun, unique and inspirational. You know, that really puts up the pressure for me here. And I've seen from all the people speaking ahead, I mean, they've really met this expectation of unique and inspiring stories. Still somewhere I feel I'm still a bit confident that I can meet a part of this. Not fully. So that's not the problem. But then, when turning the page, I really get scared. Because it says something that in civil service is really, you know, our greatest nightmare. If you may, I will read it to you. It says the second speaker, Mrs. Eline van der Veen, well actually not the second, but Mrs. Eline van der Veen of the embassy will share a vision. You know, this in the civil service is really something tricky. We keep away far from this. So, and especially some of you are paying big bucks to listen to it, you know. You really put up the pressure for me tonight. I will try to meet some of this. At least you're laughing, so the fun part we got there. Okay. Yeah, we're here today to celebrate the launch of Cordate's network for strong entrepreneurs in Ethiopia, including the business development support program that we've heard a lot about. From the embassy, I can say that we are strongly supporting the initiative, and I'm personally really delighted to see it has come off the ground this quickly, because we didn't speak that long ago whilst you were still starting up. It's an intervention addressing the so-called missing middle that we all are experts in now, complementary to other activities of the Netherlands Embassy, but also of other donors on the ground and other organizations active here. Why we think this is relevant and even crucial in economic development of Ethiopia? That's the point of my speech here today. When looking at the Netherlands, as it is my personal point of reference, as a high-income country, small-medium enterprises are responsible for over 50% of GDP and over 60% of employment. So far, they are the motor in our economy. In countries like Ethiopia, the economy, as we've seen from Michael, the economy is mostly composed of a large number of micro-enterprises and only a few large firms. SMEs are scarcer due to various reasons that you have indicated. In general, SMEs in low-income countries only account for 30% of employment and 17% of GDP, so there's a big gap there. Addressing this missing middle will fuel a motive for employment and economic growth. The question is then how to address this, and I will come to that. Rahel, she asked me to say a few words on the Dutch policy for private sector development. As you see in the same invitation, my title is Aid and Trade at the embassy. What it means, combining aid and trade in practice, two times as many meetings, 2 times as many working groups, and 2 times as much work. You know we are Dutch and we like to also go Dutch in combining 2 jobs into 1. But also there's a rationale behind it, because we do think that there is a logic in combining aid and trade. And there's an added value in it. Our main priorities are to eradicate extreme poverty, to promote sustainable and inclusive economic development, and to facilitate our businesses here. In combining these agendas, we seek to find win-win solutions for any small or medium enterprise to succeed, whether it is Dutch, Ethiopian, or any other. An environment is required that facilitates creation and development of private sector. Our activities are therefore focused on promoting this enabling business environment in bottleneck areas where we can offer expertise and have an added value. These are usual suspects that will not come as a surprise to you. Some of them we've heard about already, like access to finance, trade facilitating customs, but also logistics. By developing these 3 cross-cutting themes, we aim to put the right conditions in place to facilitate doing business in Ethiopia. And that's the key word for us, to facilitate. Our new approach is mutually beneficial. The integration of Ethiopian companies and sectors into global value chains is necessary to trade beyond national borders and to receive foreign investments. And the latter, of course, being a #1 priority for Ethiopian government in this field. Similarly, emerging markets like Ethiopia are attractive for our Dutch companies as a location for potential growth for the decades to come. But the bottom line for us is that we encourage trade and business development and investments here only when sustainable and inclusive. At this moment we have over 100 Dutch companies active in Ethiopia. Mostly they are in agriculture. As you might be well known with the flower industry, probably what you have on the table is coming from some Dutch farmers. But the areas of investment are spreading. Dutch investors are now more and more entering markets like manufacturing. We're not drinking beer yet, but maybe later after this, after the toast, you will be enjoying some of that. Also steel, we're into that. But adding to that now more and more into food processing, tourism and aquaculture even. These are our new sectors for investment. These companies, and more to come, will benefit from this enabling business environment that we're trying to establish. But moreover, what we find important is their involvement in this country's economic growth, not only by creating jobs and committing to social corporate responsibility, but mostly by adding value locally and transferring their knowledge. Several companies work with outgrower schemes, where capacity of local farmers is upgraded, their products are diversified, and a stable export market for their products at a higher price is secured. We support these kinds of companies that invest in Ethiopia and add value for the long run, rather than those who are just simply importing goods from abroad. You have to put your money where your mouth is. And being Dutch, you always like to talk about money. Private sector development is also about providing direct support to business. SMEs in Ethiopia have very limited access to finance, as you might have indicated, and others here as well. Actually, worldwide, it is one of the main constraints for entrepreneurs to start or expand a business in any low or middle income country. To overcome this liquidity squeeze, we have put something in place that's called the Dutch Good Growth Fund, which should provide an innovative solution to the problem. Not only will this fund create financing opportunities for local SMEs in low and middle income countries, but also it will enable Dutch entrepreneurs to invest in countries like Ethiopia. Actually, I'm proud to announce here that up to now worldwide, of all the companies that have made use of this financial instrument, most of them are investing in Ethiopia, and by far. So you guys are doing something well. It illustrates also to me that there's such a great potential here for doing business, but that there's limitations due to lacking credit and above average requirements set in the financial system that hinder entrepreneurs. As such, our Dutch Good Growth Fund effectuates our goal to integrate aid and trade. Dutch SMEs are stimulated to do business, to transfer their knowledge, to create jobs. And at the same time, local SMEs gain access to finance and they have the opportunity to scale up their business. The role of government here is again to facilitate the businesses. And especially, I think, to give an incentive for entrepreneurs to take that first step, to carry the risk and to go ahead. Especially because these kinds of high-risk investments often have a spillover effect, as we see nowadays in agriculture. We are supporting the first entrepreneurs who are entering the market, whose investments and experience I expect will spill over into a broader development of the sector, with more entrepreneurs coming in, which is important for the diversification of and accessibility of nutritious foods again, and has a potential of exporting. I'm proud to facilitate this development from the embassy, because it is aid and trade in practice. I'm coming to an end. You all look thirsty. Maybe some of you are still waiting then for that promised vision. I tried to cover it up a little bit because I am a civil servant, but I'll spell it out for you. As I see it, the role of government is to facilitate businesses, that's no surprise by now, by putting right conditions in place to smoothen trade and investments, and to especially then to give that extra push for private sector to take the risk of investing abroad when necessary. On the long run, that leads to knowledge transfer, strengthening of local capacity and markets, and to integrate into global value chains. Government is only there to facilitate. Coming then to the role of Cordate in this, when we first met, maybe the second time we met, my response to you was Cordate and PSD. Why doesn't Cordate stick to its own trade, or maybe its own aid? It was to me a kind of an unusual accommodation. But as you have explained very well and have convinced me again and again, and as I have argued now for the marriage of aid and trade, so does it apply for Cordate. And there is a way where you chip in, especially when finance and so on is available, of getting the right things in place to make full use of that and to help businesses live up. And even more so, thinking about Cordate more from a traditional perspective, private sector development is a tool in poverty eradication and stability. Definitely. The Cordate program chips into a niche that is not yet addressed in Ethiopia, and that strengthens private sector development as a whole. Successful aid removes obstacles for sustainable economic development and opens doors to trade and investment. And to succeed in these efforts, cooperation with private sector, with government, with knowledge institutions and civil society is fundamental. Only by cooperating can the whole become more than the sum of its parts. And that goes for us as well. Therefore, I would like to congratulate Cordate with the launch of your network and with the BDS program, and I'm very much looking forward to working together with you.
Because convincing a woman like Elise, it must take a lot of energy, but I'm really happy also with supporting the process of helping the missing middle to become more nationally and internationally, and it has been a great opportunity for us to be part of your meetings and your emails, your networking, and bringing us in contact with everybody who matters. So I am sure a lot of you think I am actually not the target group for this meeting. Why am I invited? But I think everybody has a role. I'm sure, because in anything, like I mentioned in the morning, there in the evening, there is a lot of knowledge available, but we don't use it. So sharing the knowledge is the biggest thing you can do for us. Just make sure that you are capable to perform the task we mentioned in the beginning, the 8 tasks. Are you expert in marketing? Are you expert in finance? You can help the country to develop, but you can help the entrepreneurs to grow. Obviously, we also say byproducts from Ethiopia. We have this notion of believing everything from China or Europe is better. The reality is not. It looks good, you know. So we should learn to value the product we produce. Somehow we have this understanding of, you know, if it's produced in Ethiopia, it cannot be that good. But it's not true. People are changing. A lot of experts are coming. Organizations like POM are coming in to help. Organizations like Cordate is helping. So a lot of the products produced in Ethiopia actually are valuable to be bought. So promote us and buy products in Ethiopia and share your knowledge, I say. And of course, if you're an entrepreneur, become a member. I am sure there is a lot you can do for entrepreneurs amongst each other to learn, but maybe you can even be customer of each other. You know, we did not think, for instance, Abogida and Nisr would be matching, you know, but they are possibly clients of each other. So it might surprise you if you come together. There is a lot of energy going on, and without forcing it being a meeting, me talking here. I'm sure you are tired of me by now. But I really, you know, it's like I said, walk in the same shoe and share the knowledge and the challenge you have had. And obviously funding, and I'm sure there are some organizations, because, you know, the program, it is possible to make it sustainable, but we cannot make it as sustainable because some of the programs are very difficult to ask these target groups to finance. So we finance almost 90% of the costs that are incurred. So we, for 2016, we are looking for funding or possible partners in this. And of course, sharing ideas. You know, I know something about analyzing football maybe, but I do not know that much about producing juice. So it would be very good if you can tell us, I would do this differently. The program is not, the Bible. We can change, we can smoothen it a lot. So I hope you have had a great day, and I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you very much for inviting us, being here. I would like to introduce you to our team, because they have done a lot of job. I was in my bed, like you see, for the last 3 months, typing on my email and screaming on everybody if the day was going to be successful. I'm happy it's successful, and it's not because of me, it's because a lot of people like Abesalom, please come on. Nahum, I don't know where he is. Yes, somewhere there. Yes. And of course, Matthijs, you have seen him the whole day, but together we make, I think, the dream team. I hope you can join us to become even better. Yes, this is the team, yes. So I hope any yes. Okay. I don't know, you want something here? Say.
Okay.
We appreciate any feedback also today, but I think we have ample time later on to discuss about the program or about your inputs.
Yeah. Please make sure you have a visit card from Nahum and Absalom. They are the business development managers.
Yes,
So they are the key persons to
yes,
contact at the moment that you want to join or you have any
Yes.
knowledge.
yes. Thank you very much. From home, and we help them to become registered in the company. They are mother and mother. I think the mother is around somewhere. And they are really good in what they do actually. And we are helping them in producing better products. So we designed this together with them. It's a notebook which is very usual in Ethiopia and Holland, but maybe a good idea for all of you to buy it. So yes, please, Mr. Kasten.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.